Hey guys, I'm MarikaAto and I have decided to redraw or more like retrace my art to create a coloring book based on my cyberpunk universe. I started it as a hobby about 2 years ago in a Procreate for October, and back then I didn't think much about the quality of many things because it was just activity to distract myself from a full-time job in branding and marketing for private education. Feels like a lifetime ago now. So it is for fun, for Instagram, in a raster, and in most sketchy way, with not so clear line art as it should be for a coloring book. It will be in a series of about 32 videos of me fixing my art in Clip Studio Paint. This is the first one, so I have to say in advance it might be a bit messy as I am just figuring out how to set the whole process. To make it less boring to watch, I will chit chat on random topics. I usually have conversations with my friend while I'm drawing, so I want to try similar practice for these videos as well. It will be in some way vlog and speed drawing type of a video, and I hope you will enjoy it and come back for a second one. Relationships are tricky. We all have baggage, and the older we get, the bigger is baggage. Some of us go to therapy trying to dig at the root of the problem, some hiding emotions away and trying to live as everyone else, avoiding judgment of society, and others are, it is what it is, people, accepting reality and their plate of shit. Yes, I just said their plate of shit. This is a theory of mine when you understand and accept all parts of yourself, including ones that others find annoying and unacceptable by society, but these things or habits are part of you and you have no intention to change it. You accept them and you want your partner to accept them too. In return, you should be able to accept other people's plate of shit as well. It is easy, but at the same time pretty complicated to explain, and I may or may not do another video about that. Due to coronavirus, I'm currently back in a pretty conservative society with very clear gender rules. I haven't been here for 8 years or so, and I have never been in this society in the first place. So I'm experiencing a bit of a struggle of being here for almost 8 months. During this time, I have a front row seat observing two women. One is living her life by social expectations with a husband she stopped loving many years ago, and for the sake of their two children and society, where divorce is like a shameful tattoo on your forehead. Another one, overly independent for this place, wanting a partner in life and not just a husband for the sake of a status not being single. I do understand both of them and their point of views, reasons why they're doing things they do, but I keep wondering, why do we have to make everything so complicated when it can be so simple? Why do we live a life like we have another one when we will have a chance to be happy? This is not only applies to standards for women, for men as well. In this society, a man has to be strong, not emotionally vulnerable, able to solve any problem, be tech savvy, have a good car as a must, take care of his woman, and he never does anything wrong by default. This is a lot of pressure, and no one is happy. Communication here is an issue, and an ability to recognize emotions that you have, because you are not supposed to have any. You have your role to play, and no one asks if you want that or if you are happy about that. Being on LGBTQ side is still a taboo for many people. Toxic masculinity is not yet a thing. Actually, quite the opposite. It's so weird to observe. Small talks with taxi drivers, random conversations with people I used to hang out back then. I'm not considering myself a feminist or any type of activist, but being here for this much, I feel like I can become one. Because of standards and expectations of how everyone is supposed to behave and look, people are not able to express what they actually think or want. My family is not exactly an example of these standards, so my recent discovery kinda amazed me. As my friends get older, create family of their own, their relationship as a couple are so different from my experience. I know that everyone is different, but this is something that would never cross my mind. Apparently, here, if a man saying that he is hungry, woman's supposed to stop doing whatever she is doing and feed him. But if a woman says that she is hungry, she goes and feeds herself. I know that it's a common thing. I know that this exists. but I have never before experienced it myself, and it looks shocking to me. And not even once it occurred to that woman that she can ask her husband to make her some food, or help her with cleaning, or just do anything that is woman's job by this society standards. In my opinion, it is a continuous cycle from parents to their children. If you grew up seeing that your mom was always in the kitchen, cleaning house herself, doing all chores herself, and that is not participating in any house activities, that will give you an idea how family life is. And for some reason, people here don't really consider to change things they don't like. They treat everything as you're supposed to have it this way. My parents live this way, I grew up that way, so my kids can do that too. No one really shows the possibility to have it another way. My mom did the opposite thing. She forcefully put in my mind things have to be different from her life. No early marriage, no marriage at all unless you lived with that person for like at least 2 or 3 years. I had no restriction for anything. I had only one rule: do whatever you want, just don't get pregnant. One and only rule in my life. It had an impact on me as well, and I am not perfect for sure with my own set of mental health issues, but at least I am not the slave in my own house, complaining about that every time I have a chance. In case you think that I am trying to say that being a housewife is a bad thing, you are wrong. I'm not against it, and I'm not really against gender roles either. I just think that it should be fair. Back then, it was an exchange. Mommy is pretty, daddy is working. Mommy is taking care of daddy and kids. In return, daddy is making sure that family has food, house, and safety. But he's not like that. Here, mommy is pretty and mommy is working. And mommy taking care of daddy and kids. What does daddy do? He exists. He doesn't think that he needs to be handsome after marriage. He works the same amount of hours as mommy, but when he comes home, he doesn't take care of kids, he doesn't cook, he doesn't do laundry or any chores if that's matter. He is tired and he needs some rest. Doesn't sound fair to me, and that's what I'm against and don't understand. One of my friends here, a guy, he's in his late 20s, single, really wants to get married. His problem is that he's looking for this perfect woman, that pretty, homey, financially independent, looks after her health, going to gym, cooking breakfast every morning and dinner every evening, do all housework regularly, always happy to see him. And on top of that, she should be adventurous, active, and wish to have kids without any weird kinks in the bedroom as well. So there are a few problems. First one, he is looking for a mythical creature that does not exist in real life, at least as a single woman in her mid or late 20s. This type of girls are usually 18 and have no clue what life after marriage means and what they can do themselves. And as a man, you kinda have to grow them and educate the way you want them to be. It's a pretty common thing to do here. Second problem is the other single women that meet his visual expectations. They have two categories: young and not smart or independent enough for him, and a little older ones that are not interested in his gender roles expectations. They're looking for a partner, person who is independent as well, and who doesn't care about society expectations much. I guess he does have another option: divorced women, potentially with a child. But he doesn't even consider it as an option. Because if you are divorced here, you are broken. No one wants you. And you become a second-hand material with attachment if you have a child. It's all so childish and immature in my opinion. There is a lot of extra information and possibilities that everyone needs to consider before jumping to any conclusion, before judging anyone's choices and way of thinking. But holy moly, basic human rights and fairness should be universal meaning. There should be some standards. I'm very aware about religious roots and influence for some countries and society, but even inside religious concepts, you can find fairness and balance. For me, it feels like the world and globalization is moving too fast for common person to adjust to all changes. And I actually have a great example for this thought. But it will be a totally different video. And I think I have a perfect picture for that as well that will fit to that story. It's about Cambodia, globalization, and technologies. Massive gap in life that people just missed, and now they're trying to understand how everything works. So yeah, let's talk in another video about this. Thank you for watching and listening to me. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe, leave some comment, and see you on my next video.